Let's have a look at today's papers. We're starting with the Times, and their front page reports how TikTok and Instagram will be told to tame aggressive algorithms pushing harmful content to children under the new rules we have been talking about here on the programme already that are being announced today. That's coming up at more detail about 6:30.
The Guardian this morning reporting that the exclusive Garrick Club in London has voted to allow women to become members after being male only for only 193 years.
About time, perhaps. And the Mirror reports that pubs will be able to stay open until 1 o'clock in the morning if England or Scotland reach the semi-finals of the Euros in a couple of months' time. But the extension would only apply in England and Wales.
And let's have a look at this lovely picture. The film If had its premiere last night. If you haven't heard about it, it's all about imaginary friends.
Oh, no!
And this is very cute, isn't it? That's the actor John Krasinski, one of the stars of the film, giving one of the, well, he looks pretty real to me, not too imaginary, but a big purple friend, a big hug. That's very sweet.
That's a cute picture.
It's very cuddly.
Very cuddly. Maybe not so cuddly, but definitely very interesting. Here in the Times today, we've got a story about the language of whales. We all know that whales can make those, like, clicky sounds and they're perhaps...
the Welsh language.
Not the Welsh language. No, sperm whales, actually.
OK.
They can talk to each other, communicate. Well, it turns out they can talk in a really complicated way to each other. New research suggests that the communication is not simple or arbitrary, but complex and structured in a way not dissimilar to how humans use language. They even have regional dialects.
Really?
We still don't know what they're saying. We haven't got a clue.
Just put on the subtitles.
The researchers say we are the equivalent of baby whales trying to learn what our parents are saying to us.
So they're not just clicking it, it
No.
means something.
And an extra click is very often very significant, but they just don't know what the extra click actually means.
We believe if you think whales can talk, what about worms?
Oh.
Apparently, we're all being asked to help out with a big survey of the ground.
OK.
The Soil Association wants us all to go into the garden, into the park, and dance on a spot for a few minutes.
OK.
And see how many worms come to the surface, because apparently it's a sign of soil health.
Yes.
No, we dance, the worms come up, and then you make a log of how many worms come up, and that's a sign of, you know, how fertile the ground is. It's based on the fact that
Yes.
I remember going to a worm charming championship in Nantwich when I was growing up in Cheshire. There is one in Falmouth that the Soil Association...
You went to a worm charming...
Yes, I took part.
Did you charm any worms?
They divided up the... I charmed. None came up. I wasn't very charming. But, yeah, they did. They all come up, and then people try all sorts of things. They use spades in the ground and violins, and it's the vibrations that bring them up.
Well, I never knew that.
We'll do it in your garden. We'll take a little square...
And we'll go and charm some worms.
Yeah. 6:25.
Moving swiftly on. Now, if you dream of having, like, a big day for a beautiful, big, white wedding, we're having a bit of a soggy start this year, aren't we? It's not been brilliant for weddings so far as we go into full pelt wedding season.
Yeah, wet weddings rather than white weddings, hasn't it been? But Nina's at a wedding venue in Bolton this morning to find out how the weather has been affecting things, and she's joined by the happy couple. Good morning.
Ezra and Vincent getting hitched today, yeah. Good morning from the Wellbeing Farm. Should we go, chaps? Come on. Off we pop. And you, Sandra. Good morning from the Wellbeing Farm. And you, Mabel, come on. We're just outside of Bolton in Lancashire. I mean, this venue is stunning. Ezra and Vinny got their bow ties on. Whatever the weather, this way, Vincent. These guys will come out for your photos. They might look a little bit more bedraggled if the weather's not quite right. Pete, come on. I might need your help. But if you are getting hitched this year, it will have not gone unnoticed that we've had the 6th wettest April on record. You'll have been watching Carol's reports with interest, hoping that on your big day... Thank you, Pete. Come on, Vinny, you're being stubborn, aren't you? Ezra's much better. That the weather will pick up, because it can have a huge impact on your photos, on your guests, whether they can get there. Look at this view, though. You can imagine even in a thunderstorm, it's gorgeous here.
Now, there's more disruption for rail passengers this morning as the train drivers' union ASLEF continues its industrial action. Services including Great Western, Avanti West Coast and Cheltenham Railway are among those affected. Other lines might be affected by an overtime ban, so do check if you are travelling today. The General Medical Council has seen a surge in complaints about doctors subjecting Jewish colleagues to anti-Semitic abuse. From the start of 2023, the GMC received 8 complaints. However, in the 4 months after the Hamas attacks, 60 medical professionals were reported for alleged anti-Semitic conduct across the UK.
This is quite unusual. It's quite a new thing to be reported. This is the one part of society where we expect everybody to always behave with complete professionalism, and the idea that even in this part of society, anti-Semitism has gone up and Jewish doctors are experiencing that kind of prejudice from colleagues is really shocking and appalling.
Children given everyday foods to treat milk and peanut allergies are showing dramatic signs of improvement. 5 hospitals, including London's Imperial Healthcare Trust, have joined a trial thanks to funding from the Natasha Allergy Research Foundation. Natasha from Fulham died in 2016 after an allergic reaction to a sesame in a Pret baguette.
Natasha would be over the moon that we are actually doing this in her name. It's a form of legacy, if you will, but I think the greatest honour I think any human being can give to anyone else is to help them with their lives. And I think that's very much was Natasha's spirit, and that's what we're doing, helping other families overcome the very things that we were unable to overcome in Natasha's life.